Judith Germain, a multi-award winner and leading authority on Maverick Leadership, is renowned for defining Maverick Leadership since 2005. With her extensive experience as a consultant, mentor, trainer, and speaker, Judith empowers leaders to embrace willful independence and transform the future. She is also the founder of Maverick Paradox Media and hosts the Maverick Paradox Podcast, exploring unconventional leadership insights. Judith, I know you create clear thinking and decisive leaders. I'm curious, though, what clarity has got to do with innovation?
That's a really good question. I think if you think about innovation, it's all about creating something new from what's there before. And clarity comes right at the beginning. You need to find out what the context is of the situation, what's the real problem, because people often come with the need to innovate from the symptom of something rather than the actual cause of the problem. So for me, clarity actually gets right back to first principles, right back to the actual problem. Once we're clear on what the problem is and so it starts from the beginning, and then you look at what's required at the end. So what does success look like? So you know the beginning and what the end is, then you can innovate, because you need, and it sounds funny from a socialized maverick talking about structure and boundaries, but you need the boundaries so that you can actually innovate beyond the boundaries. You need to know what's in scope, what's not in scope, and then you can innovate around that.
Right. So a willfully independent maverick is going to listen to the boundaries to come up with enough clarity to innovate, or is the risk that they're just not?
You can't push against a boundary if you don't know what it is. Socialized Mavericks is all about, and Maverick Leadership is all about breaking the right rules, not breaking the rules for the sake of breaking the rules are. So first you have to establish what the rules are, then you establish whether they're worthwhile keeping, and then you establish what you're going to do next.
Right. Okay. So if innovation is all about creating new stuff out of what we already have, aren't we in danger of just cannibalizing the world and ending up with weaker and weaker iterations of the same old, same old?
You know what? That would be the case if you forgot that the Maverick twist, which is that innovation from a Maverick leadership perspective isn't just following a linear progression. There is nothing creative out of that. There's nothing innovative out of that, really. Maverick Leadership is all about taking those intuitive leaps. That's the looking at things from differently. So whilst you are innovating from what's there before, to clarify, you're innovating from many different data points from many different areas. So it's not like, here's a process, what comes next? Yes, that's innovation. A Maverick leader is looking at that and going, yeah, but if I thought about how a ballerina does this and how a baseball player does this and how manufacturing does that, and I take one thing from each of that, put that together, here is my innovation. So I guess I should have clarified a bit strongly there, is that from my perspective, innovation is not a linear progression. It is about innovating from lots of data points, from lots of industries, and coming up with something new that is truly innovative based on what, the term for innovation is.
From a Maverick perspective, is innovation always about growth, about just more?
Oh, I like that. Is it about just more? So I'll just tell you what my gut reaction would be no, it's about getting it done. So innovation might actually mean doing less and making something way more simpler. Because sometimes people get super excited about having a great strategy, but not about executing that strategy, or having something that looks new and interesting that doesn't actually change anything. So innovation isn't always about more. Sometimes it's about less, but it will be about something that's different, purposeful, and useful.
Do you think it's possible to innovate without Maverick?
Yeah, it'd be a linear progression of what was there before.
Which you just said isn't innovation.
It's what lay people would class as innovation. I think that real innovation comes from seeing something new in what you're trying to innovate, what you're trying to create, But that's how I see it. That's not how everybody sees innovation.
So for anybody who's watching this who, is involved in innovation somewhere along the line and doesn't fancy themselves as a maverick, what advice would you give them?
I would say you don't need to be a maverick by personality, but you can be a maverick leader. And that's about looking at things from a different way. It's about making sure you execute over implementation. So I think if the world was full of mavericks, it would burn and not work too well. But a world full of maverick leaders, empowering other leaders, see the world from different perspectives, that would be amazing.